I'm Cecilia Lim, and I'm the creator of Kwento Comics. Kwento Comics is the comic book company that I created a few years back. Kwento actually means story in Tagalog. And Kwento Comics was created just to bring you a diverse storyline and unique stories from all over the world. What inspired me to create Kwento Comics is the fact that I've always been interested in the fantasy genre. Ever since I was a little kid, I used to read all the epic fantasies, and it wasn't until I was much older that I started delving into Filipino mythology. I have a great team of artists and writers. My head writer is Caitlin Fahilan, and she's assisted by Jennifer Zhang. My artists in the Philippines are Catherine Leno, Renoida Renavia, and Charlene Due. We also have a producer, Waverly Lim, and head of marketing, Meriden Angeles. The Mask of Haliya is the first comic series brought to you by Kwento Comics.
So The Mask of Haliya follows a Filipina teenage heroine named Marisol Reyes, Mari for short, who comes into possession of a magical mask that grants her supernatural powers. And once Mari comes into possession of this mask, a number of different dark and threatening forces begin to stalk her every step.
We really wanted to bring to light an Asian American female character who is at the cusp of reaching adulthood, and what that means psychologically to take on not only the burden of growing out of a person experiencing trauma, but also growing into something that she has completely no knowledge about. You know, something that is on an otherworldly scale and that has universal significance.
The Mask of Haliya was actually inspired by a personal family story of mine. I remember going to my Lola's funeral, and I remember my aunt bringing me a box of jewelry of hers. Instantly, I picked out the ring that she always wore. It was a opal ring that is both her and I's birthstone. I was so excited because I knew this was the little piece of her that I always wanted to carry with me. That's kind of the moment that inspired a specific scene in The Mask of Haliya that turned into the entire comic book series.
One of the creatures that you will be introduced to within the first issue is Bakunawa, a former diwata, or spirit of the sea, who witnessed moon god children. Bakunawa transforms into a sea serpent that eats the moons and is about to eat the seventh moon, Haliya, but her father, the creator god, saves Haliya before she can be eaten by Bakunawa. So that's why we have the remaining moon in the sky. Haliya grows up to become this warrior moon goddess whose arch nemesis is Bakunawa. And she wears a mask made of pure gold to hide her beauty, to mask herself from her enemy. And in many ways, that matches what's going on in the story, because not only do people wear a mask to hide their true selves from those who would cause them harm, but the mask is also historically a tool that one can use to transform into a different character, a new person. There's a performative aspect.
It's been a long journey. It's been a few years. We started this, and because I have writers in the US and artists in the Philippines, we've had a lot of challenges just to make things work, from time differences and getting together on, for meetings. But I've got such a great team, and we've been able to work, and we've learned along the way, and I wouldn't have changed anything.
It has been such a pleasure working with Cecilia and the writers. Caitlin and Jen are brilliant at what they do, and Cecilia and Waverly are so patient and understanding and supportive with our work. It has been also a pleasure working with Charlene, who was also part of the art team. And everyone is just continuously inspires each other and supports each other all throughout each step of this series.
Working with the Kwento team has been very fun so far. I get to share a lot about my culture, and it's been fun coloring them and being part of this project.
Kwento Comics is really special because it started off with a mother and daughter team. I was really inspired when my mom decided that she wanted to tell these stories about our culture and represent strong female characters and explore this beautiful mythological world of Filipino mythology and share it with the world.
I spent 20 years in corporate America, working for a great company. But even in the best companies, there are times when voices aren't heard. And what makes Kwento Comics unique is that all voices are heard. Everybody comes to the table, nobody's left behind.
I think we've been really blessed in that we are working with an all-female, all-Asian AAPI team because we felt very heard the entire time. And we have a lot of agency in the writing process that perhaps not a lot of writers do when they work under a larger company. We're very lucky in that the sky's the limit. The story can take so many different directions and we have the freedom to see it to completion.
Everyone has just been so on top of things and so inspirational, so supportive. There's so many times I just wanted to give up, and every time I attended a meeting, I left with a sense of, you know what, I can do this, because everyone was so supportive. And that's something you're not gonna get with every comic book team.
I think people should read The Mask of Haliya because it's got a little something for everybody. It's got mystery, it's got intrigue, it's got mother-daughter difficult relationship, a warrior princess, a giant sea serpent, a mysterious cult. I mean, it's a great story, and our writers have done such a great job in intertwining these various subplots into something I think everybody will enjoy.
Parts of my subconsciousness started entering the story. And parts of my own life, particularly my emotional home life and my relationships with other people, began entering the story in covert ways.
The most important thing usually about mental health stories is that mental illness and struggles feel isolating and they make you feel alone. And a lot of individualistic culture makes it so that you believe that you are struggling alone. But what we're trying to point us towards is this value in collectivist society, the value of seeing yourself as part of a larger whole, and how the community can actually help heal you, how other people that provide different elements to your life can actually enrich you and help you discover more about yourself.
I would love to just thank all the friends and family who've supported Kwento Comics and The Mask of Haliya through the several years that we've been journeying. Starting with my husband Ed, my son Parker, who's helped on the website, my daughter who's been helping me produce this. We've got a lot of support from all our friends, and we just wanted to say thank you to everyone.
What are you waiting for? Get your copy now.
Hey guys, thank you so much for attending our launch party. Yeah.
Party. It's a launch party. It's a launch party.
Pre-order your copy now.
Oh, this way. I thought it was, that's what I was like, it's a bit cheesy, you know? Like, this is a rap video. Now, yeah. Now, I got it. Okay.
Hold on. In 3, 2, 1.
What am I saying again?
We are Kwento Comics.
In our iteration of, you know, what we're trying to do here with the original mythology, Bakuda. Excuse me.
You want water?
Sorry.
Great, because I don't like how I said Marisol. I sounded like Marisol! Marisol! If you read the comic book!
Hi, Kababayans. Hey, Kababayans. Okay.